Joining us right now, the Commissioner of League1 Ontario, Dino Rossi. Dino, welcome.
Hi, Anthony.
Dino, the platform is all yours. You and I didn't discuss what we wanted to attack here tonight out of fairness because we know one another. We speak quite a bit often. And I thought it was only fair to give you the platform, not just on the game last night, but on the whole process and looking forward and what is important for this country in the coaching. Let's start with the coaching, then move our way to what you believe needs to happen for us to have success.
You're going to have to help me a little bit, Anthony. When you're talking about coaching, what specifically are you?
Let's talk about, obviously, we know that more than likely Benito Floro either will resign or they'll let him go. Where would you like to see the next coach of Canada come from? South America, US of A, Europe? Tell us what you think your strategy would be for the next coach.
I wouldn't really narrow the search to any particular region of the world. Everybody has their preferences in terms of, style of play, and but the right coach for Canada is going to be a person who can take what foundation has been built over the last few years and build upon it. I think that Benito has done a very good job in terms of building a defensive character for the team. They're very well organized. They have good shape. They've kept the ball out of the net for the most part, except when they played Mexico. But now it's time to build upon that. Of course, a lot of that has to do with having the talent around the team that can that can complement playing maybe a bit more of an attractive attacking style. I see a lot of fans comment about how they find the tactics a bit negative. I think that the tactics probably fit the group that he had. I mean, if people remember 4 years ago after the 8-1 debacle in Honduras, that was a pretty low time for the national team, and when Benito took over, he had to do a lot of rebuilding and starting from scratch. And I think with what we had at hand, he's done a fairly good job. But clearly it wasn't quite good enough to get us into the hex, which I think was fairly well established as the objective for this group. So I have faith that the people in the position of authority who get to pick the next national coach will find us a good candidate. The CFA opened their wallets. They brought in a well-known and respected manager in Benito Floro, and if there's going to be a new coach in the next year or so, I'm sure it's going to be somebody who is going to capture the imagination of Canadian fans as well.
So, Dino, let's look forward. What's done is done last night. That phase is over with and done with. We have to wait for the next round of World Cup qualifying. Before that, the Gold Cup. You had a dream. You had a desire. It has come to fruition. It's in year 3, League1 Ontario, a path, a place for young Canadian men and women to play, to have an opportunity to develop, to have an opportunity for young coaches as well to coach. And it is in his 3rd year. We've had many success stories, too many to talk about. But that, I believe, is a little small stepping stone. What would you like to see as the Commissioner of League1 Ontario and for Canada?
Well, I think that for our league to continue to grow and to take next steps and to keep players engaged and to keep coaches motivated and working hard, to have clubs see that their investments are in this level of play are getting some return. We need that next level of professional football in this country. We need a Canadian professional league, a league that exists to serve the interests of Canadian football. Right now, we have 5 professional teams. The 3 MLS clubs, they're very good. The quality of soccer is very good, but I think it's fairly well established. It's an American league, and it primarily serves the interests of American football, as it should. And I have no qualms with that. 3 Canadian teams are doing a lot of things. They're making big investments in their academies, and that's great for the top young Canadian talent in their markets, as we see in League One. The Toronto FC Academy is fantastic. They have great young talent. But there is a lot of talent in our league, and there's a lot of talent in Quebec, and there's a lot of talent all over the country. And there are a lot of players who need that opportunity to be able to perform at that next level. We have coaches that need that opportunity to work at that next level. A full time, where this is basically all they do, and then it just from so many different levels, it creates opportunities for administrators, for managers, for marketers, for broadcasters, for all kinds of things that right now the football industry in Canada is not fully formed, and I really believe that having a league will play a big part in expanding the industry that is the Canadian soccer business.
So, Dino, just before we let you go in a minute or less, what would you say to the doom and gloomers out there, the naysayers that would say, Dino, Anthony, back in the early 90s, the Canadian Soccer League folded. It was not a success. It was a league that had owners that didn't know how to budget and run teams at that time. What would you say to the people that say, why are we going to try this again? For what reason? It's failed in the past. It won't work now. Why will it work now?
Well, because I'm not a pessimist. I don't believe that you necessarily repeat the mistakes of the past. I believe that if everything I hear is accurate, the work that is being done behind the scenes to make a Canadian league a reality is the work that's being done is based on the realities of today and understanding the lessons of the past. I think that the sport has grown enormously over the years. I don't think we can really compare it to the late 80s, early 90s. I really feel very confident that if and when this league comes to fruition, there will be a business plan that will have been fully vetted, and you will have investors who are not in the business of throwing good money after bad, choosing to make an investment because this is going to be a well-supported project that is going to have legs, and as long as people are prepared to support something that is homegrown, I think that the league has no reason to not be successful over the long term. It'll take time. Nothing will happen overnight that will be perfection. But MLS wasn't perfect in its first few years. It took a while. Now it's a fantastic league that is really growing, and I think that if we support our own, we will have great success as well.
If you were in charge, would you allow imports, or would it be strictly 100% Canadian?
No, I think there's definite value in having non-Canadian players in a league like that. You have to sell. It's an entertainment product at the end of the day. There has to be, in my view, for it to be meaningful, there has to be a significant set aside for Canadian players. But it doesn't have to be 100% Canadian. I don't know if that would actually be in its best interest.
Dino, we really appreciate your time. Keep up the good work as Commissioner, League1 Ontario. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.